Thank you very much for joining us in today's session. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome Carl Barber. Carl has got a wealth of experience both in project management and also in the fire service. He was actually in the fire service for around 13 years, and 6 of those he spent as a project manager. So we're really excited to speak to Carl today to get his insights in project management. And also, Carl has fairly recently joined UKRI, so UK Research and Innovation, and he's drawing on his wealth of experience in terms of project management, what he did in terms of developing project management in the fire service, and he's trying to shape things up as well in UKRI. So thank you ever so much, Carl, for joining us today. And both myself and Vasilis and Fred are delighted to have you with us here. If you want to take it away.
Yes, thank you very much for having me. So I'm here to talk today about project strategy, but in particular, it's about maintaining a strategic point of view as a project manager. Before I get too much into that, I'll just give you a quick introduction to myself. And Nick's done a great job in an overview there. But really quickly, I went to university at Bradford. I didn't study anything to do with project management. In fact, I studied international relations and security studies. My specialisation was in biological warfare, which is completely not relevant to project management at all, but very interesting. I went on and served in the fire service for 13 years across different services, almost with Wiltshire and then Dorset. And then towards the end of my career, for the last few years, I joined the National Fire Chiefs Council. I was given a great opportunity to help shape national guidance for the fire service, a new set of national guidance as a project manager. And it was a fantastic experience. It's certainly where I cut my teeth as a project manager. But in hindsight, and as you'll hear as we go through this presentation, I learned a lot about being a project manager, funnily enough, from being an incident commander within the fire service. There are a lot of transferable skills amongst the two roles, which we'll go over. And now, as I said, I work for UKRI, which is another fantastic organisation, again, public service. And yeah, it's some brilliant work that they're doing in making sure that the country is funding the best research out there. And you know, some of the projects that I've been lucky enough to work on, apart from the national guidance, you know, creating an e-learning platform across 49 fire services was certainly a challenge, and now improving the grant funding process across 9 councils worth quite a lot of money. So these are really interesting business change projects, and I just wanted to say at this point, I am a business change project manager is how I see myself. So when I'm talking about my experiences, it's about making cultural and organizational changes rather than developing specific products or building anything. Mine are all about changing a way something runs primarily.
For those of us who are not necessarily aware, what is the NFCC?
Sorry, the National Fire Chiefs Council. So it's a body that represents all of the fire services across the UK, where they are almost principalities unto themselves, and they're run by local authorities or metropolitan areas. What they do is they work together and pull a certain amount of money every year to provide a functionality across all of the fire services. And one of those functions is the Central Programme Office. So instead of deploying and carrying out projects or programs within individual fire services, they're able to come together and work together for a greater project or program. So the first one of those was to produce national guidance for the fire service, to update it from where it had been produced many years ago. But since then, they've done loads of other projects and programs around the digital space and around training and education in the fire service and recruitment, all of those things where it makes sense to come together and work as one and provide those sorts of answers. So yeah, that's what the NFCC and the Central Programme Office is all about.